Okay, so we're here to discuss the LAP process. Okay, so what do you have? What's your idea?
My idea is how the mass media negatively affected my life.
How so?
Because if I was what in my life experience has inspired this project, being constantly manipulated by false ideas in my daily life.
Okay.
Ever since I was in school, it started when I think in 2nd or 3rd grade, I was told that Christopher Columbus, I wasn't told the true story. So ever since I was in school and every day being constantly manipulated by false ideas, so it affected my thinking.
So what is, briefly, what is your project title?
How the mass media negatively affected my life.
How will you use the course content in your project?
See, that's what I'm having trouble with. I was going to put to demonstrate how...
But we're not there yet. Those are those verbs, right? Those are the B-level intermediate verbs. Right now, we're just looking at the course content. How does the course content compare or relate to your life experience in this particular topic that you've selected?
Well, many of the things that I've learned by reading this book has been true to what, you know...
Yes. Okay, so you're going to think that out carefully. And you're going to find where in the textbook mentions this title for your project, right? Okay. So also in the learner objectives, like I said, you're going to use those B-level terms. So whatever it is that you're claiming as a learning objective is what you have to stick to, all right, as a LAP project, all right? So your thing is how the media has affected your thinking.
Right.
Okay, and then you're going to use some of the theories that you know about,
Yes.
like the hypodermic needle theory. What does that one say? Hypodermic.
That mass media manipulates false ideas and accepts. It wants people to accept it as the truth.
And that's happened to you.
Yes.
And through careful, rational thinking, you've refuted what they've put out there as a fallacy.
Yes.
That's amazing. This is a pretty powerful LAP. Okay, so methodology, how would you want to approach this? Would you like to interview or survey people that's been affected like you in similar situations? Do you want to interview your mother who raised you? How? What's your approach? How are you going to go about this?
My approach would be, see, that's what I'm having trouble with as well.
Okay.
Not the research component, of course.
Right, the research-related component that makes it LAP. So you understand that you have to write 10 to 12 pages on how you went about this LAP.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so you have to provide references, okay, viable references that other people within your same situation have been affected by the media's biases and fallacies and propaganda. All right?
Yes.
So you're on the right track. This is your 8th week of the semester. You have time to put it together. But it is due like the 16th or 17th session of the semester. All righty? Thank you, Ms. Colon.
How mass media affects on young youth, but I don't know how I'm going to tie it into like personal experiences.
Okay. So what is it that we've covered so far that interests you so far?
A hypodermic needle. I could use that. And
Which one?
A hypodermic needle.
A hypodermic
I'm
needle.
gonna use that and see how like they portray negatively on black women, like love and hip hop, ATL, all that dumb shit.
Okay.
Or
No,
even,
don't curse, please.
Or even Power Empire.
Yeah.
How
Okay.
they like oversell the drug dealer.
That would be
or
good.
oversell the black drug dealer. And how youth looks up to, I could be that man.
Okay.
I don't know how to tie that into personal experiences yet.
But it is a personal. You feel that is a personal.
That is bright, man.
Like you sharing. You talking about Empire, right?
I'm talking about all of them.
Okay. And you've been living this all your life, just about, right? Okay, so I'll give you
No
time.
comment. I haven't been living no illegal activities all my life.
Exactly. It's not illegal. It has to be legal.
Crazy.
But you might have been surrounded by some of it, right?
Camera.
You might have. Yeah.
Nope,
No.
I have been surrounded by no illegal activities
All right.
my whole life.
All right. So Mr. Chappelle is not ready to
comment.
disclose
Yes, no.
his life experience
Definitely
to the
not.
video camera.
Yeah.
So we're gonna postpone this encounter for a future date. All right.
All right.
You got time. Thank you.
All right.
Hi, Ms. Tyler. So you're working on your LAP project.
Right. So our last session, we were able to, the Murdoch piece, the Murdoch piece was very stimulating to me. And I had a topic before having to do with propaganda, but now, after doing that research piece, as this is a little lengthy, if you could just help me out.
Okay.
In our 21st century, the essence of true journalism has been dismantled by media moguls and their political propaganda. So I really just want to be able to hone in on that a little bit. The political propaganda versus the true essence of, maybe that's a topic.
It sounds like a good topic.
Essence.
Now, how does it relate to your life experience? Do you encounter this every single day?
Absolutely.
Okay.
This is something, that it impacts us as a whole.
Okay.
It impacts our communities. It impacts our whole, like, globally as well.
Okay.
Whether, we had this discussion in class just earlier, whether or not we choose to tune it out, it still has an impact on our
Okay, so let's get
lives.
to the first. Write a brief description of your project. How will you use the course content in your project? In our class discussions and also in the textbook chapters, does it cover any of this?
Absolutely.
Okay.
So most of our chapters have been, discussing mass media as a whole and how it's supposed to be a platform used to inform the public.
Yes.
But what we've researched so far, and this is how I'm going to use, like I said, that Murdoch piece, and I have it here. I shall use this documentary along with other research reliable resources. Also incorporate more information from classroom discussions and the course publication that are on specific chapters provided. Extensive information about propaganda. So that's what I'm going to be focusing on.
Very good.
Okay?
Now, so your life experience, you spoke about that. Now you have to give me 2 learning objectives in terms of, this is a B-level course, intermediate. You got compare, contrast, categorize,
So
defend.
I will definitely be doing a compare and contrast
Okay.
with propaganda and journalism. How forced propaganda is actually taking away the essence of true journalism.
Very good. What methodology will you use?
I will be doing a PowerPoint presentation.
Very good. And also your learning product. What would you hand back to me as a final product?
My LAP.
And a written paper as well, because that's part of the
Right.
component of an LAP, that you have a written component
course.
between 10 and 12 pages in terms of how you went about it.
Right.
Now, you understand that the LAP is not a research paper, but it is research related.
It is.
All right?
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
Good luck.
All right.
So I'm not even sure if the title's going to be this. I like the title, Influence the Legend as the Truth, because the video we saw, he said when the legend becomes the truth.
That's right.
Not necessarily the truth, but it sounds good. So that goes into spiral of silence. Okay. People don't want to be their own person. They want to follow what other people follow.
Yeah, that particular theory was founded by Noah
Noah,
Newman
yes,
in the
yes.
1970s.
Once again, when I do my papers, I like to get the resources first,
Yes.
because you're able to maneuver during the paper a little bit better.
Okay.
So I don't have any resources yet, but I'm looking to do hypodermic needle theory.
Okay.
That also goes into the spiral of silence.
Okay.
Now, my title that I have so far is Influenced by the Legend as the Truth.
Okay.
That's the title, but the topic is going to be on the hypodermic needle.
Okay.
I don't have anything written yet for a brief discussion of my project because I don't have any resources yet.
Yes.
However, I do have what in your life experience has inspired this project.
Okay.
And it says, I am all about justice. I can't stand false information put out to control the way we think. It is unfair as a human being. It's unfair to us as a human being. Finding out that what I learned from the people I trusted in the past was a lie leaves me furious. So that's the reason. That's the reason why I'm doing the hypodermic needle, because that's basically the same thing. On a smaller level though, because when I was dealing with, that's what brings it personal. Because
Okay.
as far as the class, the hypodermic needle is about false information injected into us to give us a certain way of thinking. Now, when I was young and I learned that Christopher Columbus discovered America, and they still teach that to this very day, it's
Right.
aggravating. When my parents told me X, Y, and Z, and then I found out when we get older that that wasn't the case, it's aggravating. So that's the reason why I'm choosing this topic. As far as methodology, I know I'm going to do a reflective analysis on what
Okay.
I find out. And the learning project is going to be an interview transcript. Don't know who I'm going to interview yet, but that'll come as the paper.
Mr. Lucas, what do you have in mind?
Well, LAP is pretty much the war on ignorance.
Okay.
It's concerning like racial biases amongst different minority groups.
Okay.
And how I would use this course in my project is that I'm gonna give like all minorities a history lesson and to tell the truth, to kill racial biases caused by the media.
Okay.
What inspired this was my ex's family, who was biased towards me. My ex is a Latino, and it was talking about like also the negative stereotypes that other minorities have against blacks. Basically, I just get this feeling like in my own personal life, it's like just some races, just other races just seem to kind of always targeting African Americans as if like we're the dog, you know what, on the bottom of a shoe, you know. It's like we're the ones that's being targeted, that they come to our country and down us, and we're the target. I've seen it plenty of times, so I felt like I have a good to learn the objectives. I'm gonna describe how what I've seen and like compare how, for one, how they may treat white people different than African Americans.
And you've experienced all this.
Yes.
You understand that you have to refine your LAP electronically through LAP, which is the student menu.
Yes.
All right, so I want you to go down to the 4th floor lab, take this draft, and electronically log in to the intranet
Right.
at the main campus site to the server, download that particular electronic format of an LAP and fill it out.
Okay.
And don't forget, to the left, you're going to see pluses. That opens up that particular category.
Okay.
All right, and then you write on that, you submit it, go back in, and you log out gracefully. Alrighty?
All right.
Okay.
Also, and yeah, the other thing is I'll be doing PowerPoint, and I think I'm gonna do like a questionnaire, like maybe see if I can talk to different minority groups and ask them like, what is it that, how do they feel about African Americans? Stereotypes, yeah.
Okay, very good. Thank you. Good luck, all right? All right, name?
Letitia Smith.
Okay. Ms. Smith, okay, so have you brainstormed what your LAP topic is going to be about?
Not too much,
What do
because
you
I
have?
want to do a couple of things.
Okay,
So there was some ideas about the celebrities in media, how our black youth, how different races are portrayed in media, or the employment trends and career paths in working in media.
okay.
So I haven't decided which one I wanted to do yet.
What's the last thing you said? Employment what?
Employment trends and career paths in working in media.
Okay, so working in media, you're working in what, transit, you said?
I don't work in transit.
So what are you trying to say? Can you be a little clearer, please?
Okay. The different kind of employment
Okay.
that they have in mass media, television news.
Yes. Okay.
Magazine editors, things like that. But I'm not sure about what I want to
So,
do.
wait. So what are you saying? I mean, you've lived your life in an urban community, right?
Right.
Here. And you've been exposed to the media
Yes.
with
Right.
all the different platforms out there. Now, what are you trying to say? What has affected you as an individual? What experiences have you had with all these different platforms?
What I really don't. Why I wanted to do the employment in mass media. Well, really not the employment,
Okay.
but just the career paths in mass media, was because how some of us are portrayed.
Okay.
So, like, and I do a newsletter.
Okay. That's
for-
important.
I do a newsletter for my community center,
That's important.
and I want to I always make sure that all the good things are portrayed.
Okay.
So,
So in other words, in contrast, what you've seen in mass media, there's about 50% negative news that's being portrayed out there. Is that what you're saying? But you want to keep things positive
yes,
for the community.
yes.
I got you. So that's important. So where in the textbook do you think you can go for this? Is it public relations? Is it when they talk about the
Nope.
newspapers and
Chapter
magazines?
16.
What does it talk about basically?
The trends.
Okay.
It talks about the trends that's in mass media.
Yeah, but you want to be specific. You were just talking about newsletters.
Right.
Didn't we cover that earlier in other chapters? The print media?
Right.
So you-
I think that's chapter 4.
Exactly. You got to backtrack. You got to think this out carefully. All right. You're not doing this thing haphazard or random.
Right.
You're doing this thing with logical reasoning in terms of your approach. All right. So you're looking at newspapers and you're looking at magazines because that's what you deal with.
Yes.
So go right to those chapters.
Okay.
Anything else is like it's going to take you into a different direction.
Okay.
All right. Thank you. And then you have the ability to go down to the lab right now to log in.
going.
Go do it now.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And you know how to do it, right?
Yeah.
All right. Very good.
Well, how it ties to me is, well, being a Knick fan, I always get questioned if I'm really a Knick fan or do I like somebody on the team.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been a fan since I was like 3.
Okay.
I did a commercial and I didn't even win because I was a girl.
Okay.
They gave it to a guy because he looked better as a fan to represent the organization versus a female. They told me like I should look into being a WNBA fan because it looks better.
So some kind of bias there, right? Some kind of
Yeah.
prejudice that you experienced?
It's like men are supposed to be, real NBA fans, and women are depicted as we're not really fans. Like we like players on the team or after players on the team versus us really being fans of the actual teams as a whole.
Do you play the sports at all?
Yes, I played sports since I was like 5.
What?
My uncle's
Basketball?
a coach. Yes.
You play basketball?
Yes, my
What,
uncle's a basketball coach.
what do you play, guard or forward?
I'm a guard.
Wow.
And it's always like, well, do you like Carmelo, right? And I'm like, I mean, he's cool, but my favorite player is Patrick Ewing.
So what you're saying is that you've been gender stereotyped as a female athlete, and you experienced this already.
Yes.
So let's look at your LAP contract and see what we're looking at here. What's the first question that they ask you? Your topic title, right?
Yes.
What's your topic title?
I'm battling between gender stereotypes in sports versus gender stereotypes in television and advertisement.
So what is your title again? What is it called?
Gender stereotypes in sports or gender stereotypes in television and advertisement.
Now this is a whole lot, right?
Yes.
So I'm going to give you an opportunity because you have about 3 weeks to get this together to narrow the topic down. You understand that, right?
Yes.
So being that you was an ex-ball player, a swing guard or point guard that can shoot or run the show, you've personally experienced this, so I would suggest that you go with the sports.
Okay.
All right? Now, where do you remember in the textbook that it covers
It does.
gender biases in the media?
It did too, because I
What-
read it.
one of the
I remember
chapters
what
covers it,
chapter
right?
was. Yeah, but it did.
It's probably one of the earlier chapters.
Yeah,
so
it's like in the beginning of the book.
Exactly. All right. So because the beginning of most textbooks, they set the tone for the subject area under study, right?
Right.
Okay. So you got that out the way. What is the next thing that's asked of you on the contract?
It's what in your life experience has inspired this project.
Can you repeat what that is?
Being a Knicks fan, well, being a basketball fan as a whole, being a sports fan as a whole, and being a female. We're always looked at as, instead of being fans of the actual sport, they look at us as more so like she's just after an athlete. Or she thinks somebody on the team is cute.
That's interesting. Okay. You got that out the way. What is the next area that they're asking you for?
Learning objectives.
Right. And you have to use those verbs in the back, right?
Yes.
Those B-level intermediate terms.
Yes.
This is a SSC and a COM dual discipline mass communication and society course, and it's coded as 406. Okay, it's a B level. So what is your first objective using one of these B-level verbs?
It would be I'll say to defend all females who actually are sports fans.
Now, you're talking about all females. That's just a generalization. What about you?
Well, to defend myself.
There you go. Right. Okay. So you're gonna write that down, right? So in other words, do you want to defend being stereotyped?
No, it's like I want to defend the fact that I'm actually a sports fan. It's like I'm not
Very good.
after no athlete.
Okay. So you're gonna write that. Okay. It's to defend the fact that I'm a genuine sports fan. Perfect. To defend the fact that I'm a genuine sports fan. What's the second objective?
I would say I'm not trying to review anything.
Take your time.
I would say maybe to compare, like what it's like being a real female sports fan versus the stereotype that we get.
That's
as
it.
to, like, the groupies and stuff like that.
You just said it. Perfect. Write that down. Write it as you think it. Say it out loud. To
compare.
Write it. Write it at the same time. Go ahead.
To compare what? It's like being a real fan versus the stereotype of groupies / fake fans.
Good. What else is it asking of you?
Your methodology. What will you do? Be specific.
What did you write?
A reflective analysis, and it says on what? My life as a female NBA fan.
Okay. What learning products will you present to the class and to me?
Would it be a documentary?
Could be a documentary.
Documented performance?
It could be. It could be. I'll let you figure it out later, okay?
Yeah.
Now, you do understand... Wait. You do understand that you have to go online through the intranet. You have an intranet account?
Yes.
What is it? The first two initials of your name. They give you a number.
Yeah. SB.
For the South Bronx, SB at CNR.edu.
Yes.
You go to the menu on the intranet, the student menu, and at the bottom, next to the last sub-menu item, you're going to find the LAP or Life Arts Project, right?
Right.
You log into that. Once it gets you to that application, you're going to see the form. You're going to hit, are you registered under a COM or SSC 406? What's your major?
Communications.
So you're under COM 406. So you click that, and don't forget you have the pluses on the left side of each of these categories. When you hit the pluses, that particular area opens up.
Okay.
Then at the bottom, you submit it. You go back in, you log out. It gets sent to me. Actually, when I log into it, as a faculty member, I'm going to be able to make corrections and offer you comments.
Okay.
But I think you're moving in the right track, and this is a perfect topic.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Okay, your name?
My name is Chantal Brock.
Okay, what you want to do your LAP on?
I'm thinking about doing internet advertising within my community. Something as simple as how we advertise to our minorities. So maybe that the advertisement is not really targeting the way they would as if we would go into other communities like in, lower Manhattan or upper Manhattan, just so we can see the difference of how the children or our minority groups are interpreting it. So, for instance, if we see something like when we get on the train, so we see the Gatorade drinks and we see it as that, but for other people, for some of us in our community, we already interpret it as, oh, it's just Gatorade,
right,
just extra sugar. But someone from lower, upper, Manhattan might take it as, oh, well, I don't drink that, so that advertisement doesn't really reflect me. So I just want to see how it breaks down and how people interpret it.
So in other words, what is the life arts component and your life experience on this particular topic that you've selected? Has it impacted you, first of all?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Subliminally or just straight up? That you can read right through some of these ads?
I think for me, it more goes for my son.
Okay.
As he watches TV, he sees not even just TV, but when he's on the computer and those little advertising pop up, or or there's just clothing, or it can be simple as, hey, they show advertising for sneakers and for weight loss things, and then his mind starts to question, and then I have to start to break down. Then it connects with how does he see it with his friends compared to other children. So I'm just trying to brainstorm one kind of motive I want to do for
Very
it,
good.
but I'm not really sure yet.
You're on the right track.
Talk about the connection between social media and education and its promise.
Okay. Social media and education in what sense? Do you mean now that a lot of these books are going online?
In the sense that, like for elementary school, middle school, a lot of the teachers are implementing this technology into the way they run their lessons, the way they teach their lessons, the way they give out assignments, the way they do their grading. Everything is online.
So how does this affect you? Are you, as a life experience, are you in education? What do you do?
Yeah, I'm in education.
In what form?
I teach a class in Roosevelt High School.
Okay.
A media class.
All right.
And basically it's through urban awareness. So my lessons go according to what's on the news, what's in the newspapers, what's in the magazines, and how it affects the way the kids see themselves, how it affects the way they learn, how it affects everything about them.
So why don't you read that project title one more time?
Well, it's not. It's a rough draft still, but
okay, I know. We all going through
it's
the
the
rough
connection
draft.
between social media and education and this promise.
That's perfect. You don't have to change that at all. What's the next thing that you'll ask?
How will you use the course content?
Right. You've seen it somewhere in the textbook or in our class discussions or handouts?
The course content, along with the theories of communication briefly discussed, basically will help me outline how the kids learn, how they take it, how they taking stuff from the internet, how they pick up things quicker throughout social media.
Okay.
Versus the traditional textbook way.
Got you. It's right at their fingertips, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
What are my life experience? Well, I just told you I work in the field of education.
Right.
My learning objectives are to describe the positive impact that social media intends to have on education by the teachers implementing it in their coursework.
Good.
And to review how technological advances have led to a more socially inclined youth.
Good.
And I want to do a questionnaire for the students and teachers who've been a part of this innovative technology. So basically, figuring out from the students, what's their feedback, what do they take away from social media, how they feel about it, using it for work as opposed to just using it for recreational, and how the teachers feel about leaving the textbooks behind, because we get into that age where we're going to be seeing less and less of textbooks and more of online stuff.
So what is it that you want to prove? What is your premise behind this in terms of traditional means of educating youth with textbook, which is tactile, you can feel it, and the electronic way? Are they? Do you see it being positive? Is it a yes and no, 50-50 type of situation? Do you put your eggs in all one basket?
No, it's a 50-50 thing.
Okay.
At the end of the day, the textbooks serve their purpose as being, like you said, textile.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Those are references and resources that'll always be there, and you can always turn to a page.
Exactly. Tactile. Tactile.
You can always
that
turn to
feel.
a page and do your research, find your sources that way. But also, using online resources as well is good, because you can reach more people. You can reach more research online than you can directly with books. You know, I can read a professional's blog. I can read an expert blog. I can go to an expert website and get the information that I need pertaining to the research I'm doing.
So you're saying that traditional ways of doing research, where you go to the Brooklyn or Bronx Public Library,
is good.
You could actually go to the catalogs, and you have librarians that can help you. Now, when you're dealing with social media, you can Google just about anything.
Yeah.
So, how is a student to determine how viable a particular research paper is by a particular author. It could all be fallacious and bogus, right?
Yes, I mean, in a sense, it can, but at the same time, there are resources that are deemed legit.
Okay.
Educational journals,
There you
which
go.
can also be brought up online. All colleges have websites.
There you go.
To where you could access the intranet, and you can, what's the word I'm looking for? You can go into their archives.
Right.
For educational journals and everything. So
very good. So it's kept academic.
Yeah, academic journals. There you go.
Okay. Now, are they basically doing that at your school with the kids, the high school?
Yes.
Okay.
So.
Okay, and you're experiencing this.
Yes.
As a teacher.
Yes. This is going on right now as we speak.
All right.
So
this is a very good topic.
The opportunity to talk about that for a research paper for LAP, excuse me, is.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm kind of glad you got the distinction between a LAP and a research paper, right?
Yeah.
You know that you can't pick the same topic for both, right?
Nah, I got another topic.
I know, because you be double dipping.
Yeah.
And you know I don't allow double dipping.
Double dipping no good.
Okay, but a LAP is research related, but it's not the same topic as a research paper.
Exactly.
Now you are aware that the products that you're going to provide to me, what are they? The products.
I'm gonna do the questionnaire.
Okay.
Complete it, and I'm gonna analyze it.
So give me 2 questions that you're going to ask the kids, basically, if you do a questionnaire.
I would probably ask a child, what would they say is their best way for them to learn?
Good.
Where do you feel you learn the most from? From a textbook, or from lecture, or from what you see online?
Very good. Now you took statistics, right? So basically, basically, how many students you think is going to be enough to get some data on this? That could arrive at a true.
At least 20.
Good.
Students.
Right. That's what you learn in statistics. At least 20. Very good. So that'll be a sample from a population.
Yeah.
Very good. And then you do your calculations and.
If my maximum capacity in the classroom right now is 25 students.
So do all 25.
Yeah.
Do all 25.
But on a day-to-day, we get no less than 20.
So what is your prediction? What do you think most students are going to say? Because they're living in a social media world,
yeah,
right?
They live in a technological.
So what do you think the majority going to say? Yes or no? They prefer what?
Social media. Social. They spend. My whole class is taught in a computer lab.
That's amazing.
So everything we do is go online, go to time.com, go to New York Post, go to Daily News. I have them look at different newspapers and talk about the differences they see between the newspapers.
So
how the news is reported.
So basically, that's going off the topic just a little bit. But basically, if you conduct this research with just the student body and they've been growing up in a social media environment with a click of a mouse or a push of a button, wouldn't that tend to skew the data? Who else would you what other population would you want to interview as well?
Teachers.
Exactly. Now you got it.
Teachers, and
there you go.
I can go further. I can ask their parents as well.
There you go.
Yeah.
You're right on point, brother.
Yeah.
So let me see some statistical results, okay?
Yeah.
Very good. Thank you.
No problem.
All right.